Sagittarius, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Sagittarius, please. All right, your energy, the King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right, your person, Cancer, Pisces energy, the Moon. They're viewing you as the Ten of Pentacles. All right, what you're not seeing, the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. You're going to see some movement here, Sag. And the final outcome, we get the Page of Wands, or this is your advice showing up in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sag. Don't rush into anything. All right, and the Four of Cups. So some of you, I get an energy of waiting. Some of you, you're not sure if this is going to end in rejection. But others of you, I feel like you're going to get like a spontaneous or an unexpected love offer here. But you might be a little bit bored and discontent with the way things are going in your love life, and this is someone brand new. This could be a secret admirer with the Moon card, or just somebody who has very deep secret feelings for you, deep romantic feelings for you. I do feel like you're feeling the love here, the King of Cups. And for those of you who don't know who this person is, you might sense like something is coming. Maybe you've been having some really specific kind of prophetic dreams here. All right, let's see. The King of Cups, your energy, your healing, you're creative. You're really in this alignment, feeling calm, regulated, balanced. The Six of Pentacles, soulmate energy. So this is a reminder that what you're looking for is looking for you. You may be dating this person, or maybe you're just out there dating and you haven't really met anybody that's super interesting just yet, or you're waiting for things to go to the next level here with this person, or you're waiting for them to ask you out. But I love your energy because you're extremely balanced here, Sag. All right, let's see how you're viewing this person. For those of you who know who they are, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, not coming towards you. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So you may be like exchanging glances with this person. You may be slightly flirting with this person, talking to this person. Maybe you're dating this person. Maybe, you know, whatever it is, but you're seeing them as like not taking action, taking their time. And I feel like that's where you're like getting a little bit bored, maybe wondering if you're going to reject this person or this is just going to end in rejection. All right, and the relationship, the Seven of Cups. So you're definitely feeling a little bit confused here. You might be thinking about exploring other options. You might not fully be trusting this connection. Some of you, this is somebody that you've met online or through dating apps. But I also feel like, you know, this is also imagining the good and the bad here. So you are in your feels, you are imagining what this relationship would be like, maybe who this person might be for some of you. But for others of you, you're just kind of feeling confused about their feelings towards you. Their energy, the Devil, Capricorn energy. So we have Cancer, Cancer and Capricorn energy coming through, which for me, when the same axis comes through, indicates that there's a strong soulmate connection here. But the Devil in reverse tells me that this person, you know, maybe a Capricorn, they're hardworking, they're stable. This is also someone who's been cleaning up their side of the street. So releasing karma, you know, just like they're getting into a healthier energy, or they've been working hard towards, you know, being better, doing better in many different aspects of their life. So Spirit's advice for you here is you don't need anyone else. Realize that you don't need anyone else but yourself to survive, to be happy, or to fix you. Embrace a new level of independence. In fact, I actually think that's where a lot of my Saggies, you are. You're in this independent energy, but you're hoping for this, and you're seeing potential here. Now, Spirit's saying if it doesn't work out, all right, nothing is lost. Know that when you lose something, try to remember that there's always a deeper meaning, that anything you lose comes around in another form, and no matter how bad things may seem, all is not lost. What I love about this energy, Sag, is I kind of feel like some of you've experienced, you're either thinking that maybe this is going to end in rejection. Spirit's saying either way, Sag, you're good. You're good on your own. But others of you, you've either just recently rejected someone, or you're bored, you're discontent with the options available to you, and something better is coming around. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I think we got a really high vibrational reading for you very recently as well, and we might be still picking up on that. So let's see. Spirit's also saying that unique gifts. So your greatest fulfillment in life will come when you discover your unique gifts. Develop and fine-tune your gifts so you may share them with the world. So just remember that you're one of a kind here. Don't hold back. Just be who you are. You're unique. The right person is going to love that about you. All right. We're never going to be right for the wrong person. So just be yourself, right? All right. And we see transformational relationship. I think this is what you have coming towards you. But Spirit's saying surround yourself with good people, and you'll find that previously unimaginable horizons will open up to you. And I think that's what I'm seeing here. So some of you, you've experienced some boredom, some discontent, some rejection, or you're just kind of like, ugh, there's nobody really good out there for me. Surround yourself with good people. Focus on your own game. You haven't missed out. You're exactly where you need to be. Be yourself. Share your unique gifts with the world, because I think the right person is coming in. All right. So we see the Moon card, Cancer, Pisces energy. So this person, I feel, they could be a secret admirer, or they just have way deeper romantic feelings for you than you may realize. And again, it could be somebody you're not even aware of. It could be somebody you're dealing with, you have dealt with. Trust your intuition. Strong Pisces energy here. All right, and we have Justice card, I was going to say Virgo energy, but really Libra energy. Maybe they're Virgo, Libra cusp, but the Justice card. This is somebody who, I think this person is kind of keeps their feelings to themselves, but not in a I'm emotionally unavailable, but more so in this is somebody who stays balanced. It could be somebody who's around you, and especially if it has to do with like work or like friends. This person, it's not like they're like shamelessly hitting on you and flirting with you, right? They keep their cool. They like to be elegant. They kind of are reserved, but not cold. Some of you, they want to bring this connection into balance with you. They prioritize balance and harmony in their life and in relationships. I think this person's very well put together, and they like to kind of keep their cool, not show how much they're really sweating you, right? Or, falling in love with you behind the scenes. Some of you might work with this person, the Eight of Pentacles. So it feels like, this, or somebody that that you, in a place you go back to. So maybe like at the gym or at school, or, your favorite restaurant. I feel like they keep it professional. And even if it's a friend of a friend or friend of yours, it's like they don't want to make it uncomfortable. They want to act right. I feel like they're elegant, and they carry themselves that way. I feel this person, yeah, like that's what I'm getting. I feel like they kind of keep this professional demeanor. And even when it comes to dating, right? Like even if you're talking to this person online or something, or you know them through dating apps, like they're not rushing into things. They're not overly romanticizing things, at least out in the open or up front. But behind the scenes, they might be. And we see the Ten of Wands. But this particular Ten of Wands, he's already put down those burdens, and he's holding this one wand. So this person's very physically attracted to you, but I also feel like they're ready to get something off their chest, and they're ready to move this forward. And we see that here with the Hanged Man in reverse. Like they're ready for movement. They're ready for a breakthrough. All right. And they're viewing you as the Ten of Pentacles. So they're seeing you as abundant. They're seeing you as someone they could be in a relationship. They're seeing you as somebody who values your family, your friends, your work. Again, very successful energy. They could see building something here with you, a business, a legacy, a family. All right, and the Judgment card in reverse. But they may be trying to get their bearings here about you. They may be trying to suss you out. That would be that Libran energy, trying to figure out who Sag really is. Am I romanticizing this? Am I fantasizing too much? They may also be a little bit worried with the Judgment card, Aries, Scorpio energy, that you've misjudged them, because they're probably very well aware that they haven't told you everything about how they feel, or they haven't shown you the depth of their feelings for you. Also, I'm getting a message. Some of you, this person may be quite busy with the Ten of Wands. They could be in the midst of a move. They could be starting a new job. Maybe their job right now is extremely busy. So what I see there is like this person might also be worried that you got the wrong impression of them. Like if they haven't had a lot of time, or they weren't as open and warm as they would like to be because, they've been busy or they've been overwhelmed. I think they're worried that, you might not give them a chance. Yeah, the Fool energy in reverse. They might worry that, you're not going to take a risk here with them, that Aries energy. They may also feel like you've already decided to move off in a different direction or deal with somebody else. I think that's just natural insecurities here when you're trying to figure someone out. Yeah, and look at that. The Four of Cups. And you are in the Four of Cups energy. So this person is worried about rejection. They're worried that either you're not going to give them another chance if you've been on a date with this person, or if you've been flirting or talking to them. Like I said, they might regret the last time they saw you. They were kind of serious, or they were overwhelmed. They weren't on the top of their game. But the Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy tells me they're going to take a chance. They're not going to leave it the way things are. They're not just going to stay a secret admirer. Or if you had a date, like your last date or your first date, like maybe feels like it didn't land correctly. Again, this is like, let's give it another shot. I'm sorry, I was tired, I was burnt out, I was stressed, like whatever it might be. So they are worried that you're going to reject them. So we see this person, Monk or Nun energy. So I do think this is someone who's most likely been alone for a while. This may be somebody who's spiritual or religious, but I actually like this Monk or Nun energy because it says that they're very dedicated. They're dedicated to their job. They're dedicated to their family. And I don't get that they're a player or anything like that. All right. And we see Hero and Heroine. So escapism and a false sense of heroism. Now, I don't think that's necessarily true. Now, Pisces energy can be a bit escapist, right? So they might have kind of swam off in a different direction for a minute to get their bearings. Like I said, this is somebody who likes to be, I don't want to say in control, because I don't think they need to be in control of other people or the situation, but they like to be in control of themselves. I get that they're very disciplined. And I feel like they're, with this Hero and Heroine energy, not so much that they're, they have a false sense of heroism, but I feel like they're more so building up strength and courage to come towards you. I'm also seeing they're a little bit worried that you two don't want the same things, or you're not on the same page. Again, they have some of those, I feel, are natural insecurities that come up when you really like someone. And, you want them to like you, and they want you to like them. But they are worried about rejection. They are worried that you're not going to be emotionally open to them for whatever reason. All right, what else do we need to know? How are they viewing my Sagittarius? All right, Slave energy in reverse. So giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Some of you, I don't think they think that, but I do think that they're a little bit worried that there are outside influences that are affecting your image of them. It could be gossip. Again, it could be that they're like, damn, the last time I saw Sag, I was in such a bad mood, or I was really stressed, or I was exhausted, or I was like juggling 8 million things, and I regret the way I behaved, or, I didn't, give Sag the sort of green light, that I'm interested or whatever. So I feel more so than that they might be a little bit worried that you're being influenced by that impression or by other people in some way, shape, or form. But they also see you as the liberator here, Sag. So freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs and releasing negative thought patterns. I do think this person sees you as somebody who would understand if you knew, right? Like, I keep going back to that. Like, I don't know if it was a date, a first date, a third date, or the last time you saw them. They're like, if Sag knew what was going on, they would understand why I maybe didn't give them enough attention, or why I was acting the way I did if it was a little bit cold or stressed. So I do think that they're going to take a risk or leap of faith to kind of clear things up with you. Now, behind the scenes, we see Hanged Man energy. They may have run off as well. Like, they might have gone a little bit quiet. Like I said, this is somebody that does care about their public image. This is somebody, and I'm not getting necessarily like it's vanity, but they like to be in control of their emotions. They're generally quite disciplined. I feel that they have some sort of regret there that's making them think you might reject them. And with the Hanged Man in reverse, they want to take action on this. They don't want to leave things the way they were, or they don't want to just leave this as like them just admiring you from afar. Okay, and we see the Magician energy getting ready to take action or communicate here. We see the Three of Pentacles. Again, there might be some gossip around this person, and they might want to clear that up. Okay, because I do get that with that. I did get that with that slave archetype coming through. I also feel like this person, yeah, I was going to say Three of Pentacles in reverse. Like they're worried about how you view them, or they want to try to get on the same page. They want to tell you maybe why they've been kind of holding back a little bit. But they're ready to take action. They're ready to communicate there. And they also don't want anybody else to step in on this connection. And we see the Two of Wands. Yep, they're longing, daydreaming about you, ready to make this decision to come towards you to communicate. They may also come in and communicate about third party around you to see if you're seeing anyone or dating anyone. I'm also getting, Sag, you may have either seen like a picture, or maybe you ran into this person out and about. And for example, they might want to clear up that like, oh, that was my brother, or that was like my long-term friend, or that was my sister, or that was my sister-in-law, and we were buying a gift for my brother. Like, I feel like there's something here they really want to clear up for you. And that makes a lot of sense because we are in Mercury retrograde in Pisces for another couple of days. So that they might be worried you heard or you saw something that isn't quite accurate. So I just get this strong energy of them wanting to clear things up. The Page of Wands energy in reverse is telling you not to be impulsive, to not jump to conclusions, but also not to necessarily jump towards this person either. The Nine of Wands. Take your time, relax. This person holds a torch for you. All right. I feel like, I feel like you don't need to rush here is the message. The Knight of Wands energy in reverse. All right, you may be lacking confidence in this connection for a reason, but I also feel like it's important to suss out what that reason is. And like I said, some of my Saggies, you are still exploring other options. All right, and the Knight of Cups, but you do have a love offer coming in, a strategic love offer coming in, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is somebody who I feel like wants a relationship with you, but this person may not be exactly where they want to be, whether it's physically or financially or something like that. So just be aware of that. Okay, and that might be what's causing some insecurities here. They might tell you that. They might say, I got hit with a lot of bills, or my business isn't doing as well as it normally is. I do feel like it's something that's making them feel a little bit insecure here. All right, let's see what else my Sagittarius. But there is a love offer coming in. They are going to come in. I think it's going to surprise you. I think it's going to transform not only the way you see this person, but it very well might transform your love life. All right, we get they can't stop thinking about you. Secret admirer, low-key obsession energy. Yeah, gossip. They're worried about gossip, either that they've heard or that maybe you've heard about them. And running into, see, look at that. I told you, for some of you, you saw them with somebody else. And you may have thought, oh, they're on a date with somebody else. Or maybe that's their girlfriend or their boyfriend or their husband or their wife or their, F-buddy or whatever. But I feel like they want to clear that up because I don't think it is actually that. All right. So incoming call, you may get a message here soon. I do think you're probably going to get a message from this person. To try to clear things up. Let's see what else we need to know. And again, they just might be worried that you've heard some gossip about, somebody else they were dating or something that happened in the past. All right, clear messages, advice, and guidance. What else do we need to know? All right, this person is sophisticated. I definitely got that. And they like to maintain that image as well. They may have dark hair and eyes. That may be confirmation for some of you. And cultural differences. So you may come from a very different background from this person. Okay? And we see comfortable together. But I do see that if you're not already comfortable with each other, there's potentially a very good match personality-wise here. All right, Sag, let's see what else you need to know about this connection. All right, someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. I kind of feel like they're obsessing right now. You may be as well a little bit. Spirit saying clear your energy field and focus on yourself right now. You've learned the spiritual lesson, so you're not going to be repeating any past karmic mistakes. And there's abundance here. Okay, you've done the work. Abundance flows to you now. Now that might be an independent message here regarding your work and your finances, because they are seeing you as the 10 of Pentacles, so it's a really strong sign. But I'm also seeing with this abundance card, there's potential but abundance within this connection. They have some sort of regret here for the way that they treated you. Again, I don't feel this person mistreated you in any way, although some of you, that may be the case. But for a lot of you, I just feel like they were short with you, or they didn't explain something when they should have, something along those lines. And we see different pages. So you and this person don't share the same vision. Again, that may or may not be the case. We did see that there are cultural differences. So you do have some differences, but I'm not seeing them being unmanageable. But of course, you're going to have the final say there. All right, final messages, advice, and guidance for my Sagittarius, please. What would this person like to say to you? I don't want to run anymore. Yeah, this person wants to stop and face you, face this connection. They don't want to let this get away because they didn't have the courage to tell you the truth, or, step up and clear something up. Reunion, we will always come back to each other. So again, I want to see you again. Maybe it's a reunion story for some of you. They haven't given up hope on you or this connection. All right, let's see what they want to say to my Sagittarius. Maybe they can't quite articulate this, but what do they want to say to my Sagittarius here? What do they want to say to my Sagittarius here? I feel damaged, like I just can't do this. So they have those insecurities that creep up. All right, and I miss you regardless of how I think, how it seems, or I like you regardless of how it might seem right now. All right, and for some of you, I wish I could take back the things I said. Okay. Sag, sorry about my voice going a little bit. Let's see what are this person's very next actions towards you? So like in the next couple of days, what are their next actions towards you? Sun card. Happiness, letting it all hang out, right? Letting their feelings be known. Wow. All right. Maybe this is abundance, like coming towards you. Maybe unexpectedly. Okay, with that temperance energy. And this person is stressing. They are stressing, but they're coming towards you. They're going to be very open. They're going to be vulnerable. They're going to tell you what's going on, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. All right, we see the King of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sag energy. All right, I feel like I just feel like they're not as confident as they usually are, but that's because this actually means something to them. All right, Sag, so it still feels really good. It feels like you've got somebody here who's like really stressing behind the scenes, worried you've misinterpreted something, or something didn't look the way it the way they wanted it to, or the way it really was. So let's go to the Grounded Truth Oracle. Clear messages, advice, and guidance. Say what you mean. You already know what's true. Speaking it isn't about control, it's about integrity. So say what you mean. Don't hold back, Sag. I wouldn't expect anything less from my Saggies. You don't need proof. Trust doesn't require constant confirmation. I think like you can trust your intuition. I don't think you're going to need proof. Like the example that keeps coming up is like you ran into this person with someone and you may have thought it was a date, but it was like a family member or something. You don't need proof. I think you already know whether or not you can trust this. All right. Observe, don't interpret. Yep, just make observations and release expectations. Meet reality where it is. All right, and at the bottom of the deck here, Sag, you're allowed to let clarity settle without forcing a conclusion. So nothing needs to be decided today. This person's going to come towards you and they want to clear everything up. All right, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.